Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Money Peak Show Match Series. This is going to be a best of 7 between these two players. You'll be able to see the score display down here at all times. If you take off, need a break, go to the bathroom, the game's over, you'll know who won by keeping an eye down here in the lower left corner of the screen. For now, though, I'm Rifkin, joined today by the lovely Zombie Grub. And why don't you kick off those?
So in the bottom position, it is the Teal Terran Axiom's Ryung.
Axiom Esports. And his opponent way to the north. From Team Acer, Acer Esports, ladies and gentlemen, it's Acer Bly. Now, I guess I'll do a quick map overview before we talk too much about the players and strategies, because again, it's a refresher for a lot of you who have never seen it. First off, I talked about there's the in-base expansion. It's not like Alterzim though, where you've got a really small ramp. It's actually a pretty large choke you have to worry about, so it's not the easiest thing to defend, but just like any natural base, you could easily put down 2 evolution chambers and a roach and it'd be good to go against generic things. Where this gets a little bit more sticky though, if we zoom out further and come down to the third, no matter what base you want to take as your third, there are rocks around there, and a little bit dangerous so are these ones are collapsible rocks. And I believe, unless they've changed things, they can still crush buildings, as these will collapse onto the expansion. Now, again, I'm not sure if that's been changed because we haven't seen a lot of that used ever, but...
I thought they just damaged him. I don't actually remember seeing a building collapse because rocks fell on it.
Okay, well, I'm thinking super hardcore beta then. But one way or another, this is like... It makes it problematic because what Ryung can do too is knock these down, keep Bly from getting this base. There's a 2,000 block of a wall that goes in the way. Same threats are, of course, happening for Ryung as well, and there's a lot of airspace on this map, so Mutalisks might be... I mean, it's already Bly's like go-to to have really good Mutalisk control, but with all the airspace here, that really encourages it even further.
Yeah. So a couple of things that suck about this map, at least for the Terran, is that the wall off is not just a standard wall off, so it's not 2 supply depots and a barracks. That's a little annoying. So if Bly actually did do an early pull, he would get in. Of course, you do a Reaper expand all the time, though, so it's not actually going to end the game. You just, could lose a few SCVs. And then if you try and put a bunker up there, like in PvP, for instance, it's so far away from your base. Like, you actually, even if you pull stuff to defend, it's like wasting so much mining time. Because it's so far away from your actual SCV line. And then there's a lot of scouting problems where no one ever really scouts the entirety of this base, but there's a lot of gray space all the time. So that sucks too. But in TVZ, I think the only problem that was really apparent was that, this wall off would not be completed in time.
Yeah, I mean, as we see, it's already got a pretty big gap in it, but we'll see if that comes into effect or not, because of course there's a long rush distance on this map. He's got that much going for him, and the Reaper's dancing with the Lings inside Bly's base for now, so it's not like Bly's going to be coming across the map anytime soon. And this isn't your scenario where you send 2 Lings across the map to cancel the natural. It's protected by the main. Yeah,
it's more like Alterzim, actually.
That's a big part of why I felt more comfortable taking this map. Like, I was looking at the map when I was a little bit worried about that. Then I realized, like, everyone's gotten so used to dealing with Alterzim at this point that the natural base, quote-unquote, problems shouldn't really come into effect in the show match, I think.
Yeah. Again, just annoying about the frontal wall of being so wide. And, of course, for Bly, too, if, you actually have to start your spreading your creep, which not a lot of people really remember to do when it comes to their main. Although in this case, your main's more like your
Zombie Grove,
the one you have to creep spread. So
we actually have 3 Reapers that are young, and Bly sent all of his Lings across the map, so a Queen may end up dying here.
Yeah, it's possible. I do like that Bly tried to send them across the map. Maybe the supply depots would not be up, but they are.
And this is gonna work out too, because it actually drives the Reapers back home. Ryung's putting so much into his add-ons and such that.
Well, he doesn't want to have to build Marines, right? So he wants to go ahead and immediately put it on the factory so he'll have enough money to actually build 2 Hellions. And you can't do that right now.
Yeah. Nice thing for him, though, is he's got that third base coming in quite comfortably behind this. And the depots, they're not going to go down anytime soon, especially with SCVs repairing them. But we finally have some things start to die over here, and Ryung will clean this up. Now, the downside, of course, is having that third Reaper is, like, you're meant to do a little bit more with it. Like, at this point, the further the game goes on, whether it's roaches or whether it's just Lings with speed, Reapers become less and less effective. So, Ryung, as far as effectiveness goes with these, outside of scouting, he's really on the clock if he wants to do some damage.
But Bly did not get the earliest gas, so his speed's going to be very, very late, and Ryung has a wider, time to actually do damage as long as he doesn't run into queens. So, he actually loses one. Okay, wow. So that kind of sucks. For the very least, if he wasn't going to get drone kills, he would still have a very powerful attack when the Hellions came. He still does. It's now the typical 2 Reaper, 6 Hellion push you'd see.
You know, actually thinking back to beta days, that moment right there, just by the way, like when Reapers had that combat awareness or whatever, where they could see up
Yeah.
clips, like that would have been perfect. That's what you know. What that's what someone should do, like host a beta tournament. Forget just like old school maps, but like reinstate all the like the overpowered and the bugs that were involved with beta.
Whoopsie. Of course, you don't. Yeah, actually, I agree with you. First of all, but also, you know, maybe it's the reason why Ryung's losing a bunch of Reapers is you don't know the map, and like Terrans really have the feel of maps down to a T when it comes to where your Reapers go to try and get up on a cliff, or their escape routes and all that. So
Yeah,
I
some are
guess
really
that could.
predictable too. Like Yansu,
Yeah.
you know where the Reapers are going to be every single time.
Yeah, exactly. So Ryung, yeah, unfortunately did lose 2 Reapers, and now his Hellion follow-up's going to be that much less powerful. He's actually waiting though. I don't know why. I guess maybe fearing Blai's oddly timed ling attacks.
Yeah, and this not unlike Ultra Zeem. Again, creep spread is going to be huge. If Ryung can shut this down early, I mean, look how much of the map Blai has to actually cover with all this creep to make it effective. He's got to do so much spreading, but for now he's got the Hellions looking ahead towards the 3rd, maybe?
It's so no, that's actually not that great of an idea because they do have a bunch of lings with speed, and they are waiting on the top of that ramp. You are actually stuck. So, or the queens go over there, for instance. So it's not. I guess it's not really worth it to go down there and check for drones. And also, Blai is getting roaches and actually going into roaches, even though he did get speed. He's getting +1 missile attack.
You know, I know we joke about like we made jokes in the past about like trying to screw Protoss over with like maps for a show match, but like speaking of beta, speaking of all these other types of like theoretical things to do, I would love to see like take the best Zerg players, and I'm talking like the top Koreans, and give them the old Queen range and see how different the game is.
That's like Wings of Liberty, man. You're going way back.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you've got the new meta, you still got Swarm Hosts, you still got like all these changes, but like you give Queens like their old like neutered range and just see how different the game ends up playing out. Because it's it's such a big part of the match right now.
It'd be like playing a series of no buffs or nerfs.
Oh, whoa. Hang on, we gotta talk about how many roaches Blai currently has out on the map. That's a
yeah,
lot.
you do get a lot. So, I guess he's probably gonna tear this down, take a 4th, but not drone it up a lot, and attack with these roaches.
And Ryung, who's just secured this 3rd, he's not gonna be able to really do much against this. I mean, he's got stim, I'll give him that, but this is not a lot of units to take on those roaches. His production's only just now kicking in. Like, he's been building add-ons this whole time. First medevacs are popping out. He really needs to get some more bulk on the field.
He shouldn't be actually that, much in danger, as it is only roaches, and he already has stim and medevacs, which are very good. Well, not necessarily a counter, but they're very good against roaches. Now, he's adding in a Hydralisk, and he's also getting Burrow and Tunneling Claws. That's something we see usually against Terran players. Oh, Blai's actually just running straight up the ramp. Nope, decides to go for the army.
Ryung's too far gone across the map, says, screw it, I gotta go for broke. He's gonna cause some damage and hope his reinforcements can handle Blai's roach attack, but again, this is gonna have Burrow and Tumbling Claws behind us, so any damage these roaches take, they're gonna heal up pretty much instantaneously. As far as the trade goes, let's see if Ryung can get the damage across the map. He's gonna be able to pick off roaches coming out of defense, but there's still a lot of queens to hold on to this.
Queens aren't really the scariest thing in the world right now. Again, the medevacs still have
look
energy,
at those
still powering
transfuses!
through it.
3 roaches will refuse to die!
Or that happens. And the attack at the front still going on. Blai still going strong, and Ryung only has Marines right now. He only has 1 tech lab, not expecting roaches at all from Blai. He never got any scouting with those Reapers because they died.
And Roach Hydra, well, a strategy versus Terran is not the most commonly used one, so this choice from Blai, really good game will be called, and Blai will take game number 1 in this best of 7 series.